Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to connect with certain people? Like there's this invisible barrier that keeps you from truly understanding them. You're not alone. Most of us walk through life assuming that our way of seeing the world is the only way. And that's where the problem begins. I'm the Darklight mentor, and today we're going to talk about something that has the power to transform your relationships, boost your career, and make you a wiser, more understanding human being. Cultural competence, the ability to understand, respect, and adapt to different cultures, isn't just some fancy concept. It's a skill that can open doors you never even knew existed. I'll be honest with you, there was a time when I struggled with this myself. I used to believe that as long as I was kind and well-intentioned, I'd naturally connect with everyone. But life has a funny way of humbling you. I remember working on a project with someone from a completely different cultural background, and despite our best efforts, we kept clashing. It wasn't about skills or intelligence. We simply saw the world differently. The way we communicated, the way we expressed respect, even our approach to problem solving, it was all different. And it took me a while to realize that the problem wasn't them. It wasn't me either. It was my lack of understanding. See, we all grow up in different environments, shaped by different beliefs, traditions, and values. And if we don't take the time to understand these differences, we end up making assumptions. We misinterpret words, actions, and even silences. We judge instead of learning, and in doing so, we push people away without even realizing it. Now, you might be thinking, all right, but how does this help me in my daily life? Let me tell you, cultural competence is one of the most underrated superpowers you can have. Whether you're working in a diverse office, traveling to a new country, or simply interacting with people from different backgrounds, this skill will set you apart. Let's start with communication. You ever notice how some people are direct while others prefer a more subtle approach? In some cultures, being blunt is seen as honesty. In others, it's considered rude. Imagine walking into a negotiation and unknowingly offending someone just because you didn't understand their communication style. That's how deals fall apart. But when you take the time to learn, to observe, to adapt, you build bridges instead of burning them. And let's talk about trust. Trust isn't built the same way everywhere. Some people value personal relationships before business, while others prioritize efficiency over small talk. If you don't recognize this, you'll either come off as too cold or too intrusive. But when you do, you can build genuine connections that lead to opportunities, friendships, and even life-changing moments. And let's not forget about respect. Have you ever accidentally disrespected someone without realizing it? Maybe you didn't greet them properly, or you misused a phrase, or you failed to observe a tradition that was important to them. It happens all the time. And it's not about being politically correct. It's about being human. When you respect someone's culture, you show them that they matter. And when people feel valued, they reciprocate. But here's the real kicker. Cultural competence doesn't just improve your relationships. It sharpens your mind. It makes you more adaptable, more empathetic, more open to new ideas. The more you expose yourself to different perspectives, the more you grow. You stop seeing the world in black and white and start appreciating the shades of gray in between. You become wiser, not just in knowledge, but in understanding. So how do you build this skill? Start small. Read about different cultures. Watch international films. Travel if you can. But more importantly, listen. Talk to people from different backgrounds. Ask questions. Be curious. And most importantly, be willing to unlearn and relearn. Because at the end of the day, cultural competence isn't about being perfect. It's about being open. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone and seeing the world through someone else's eyes. And when you do that, you don't just grow, you thrive. Now, here's something I want you to do. Think of one cultural misunderstanding you've had in the past. Maybe it was a miscommunication, a wrong assumption, or an awkward moment. Share it in the comments. Let's learn from each other. And if you've ever had a moment where understanding someone's culture changed the way you saw them, tell me that too. We're in this together. And next time, we'll meet again. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep building bridges instead of walls.